So, the Redstone has just recently been put into the gift box over on Global and JP Dokkan. Now, I've already used mine, so I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page with that. One thing that we have to do, what's it called? With this Redstone, you're going to be able to do a certain amount of things, right? So if we go over here to the gift box, you're going to see that there are options that we can purchase with the Redstone. So right off the bat, you can see we have somebody like Super Saiyan 3 Goku, we have tech, I think that's just Super Boo, Physical Vegito Blue, and stuff like that. But what's going to be interesting about these specific packages of units is that some of these are going to be offering multiple units and other ones are not going to be offering multiple units. So when you look at this, you might see a whole bunch of nonsense right off the start, but what's sneaky about these now is the fact that we have stuff like Super Easy A's coming to the game, and so now with Easy A 2, this is kind of going to change up the philosophy behind Redstones and who you're going to want to choose with that unit, or with that stone, excuse me. So like you might do a different unit, you might do something like that. What I don't recommend doing for almost all players, unless you are somebody that has all these characters maxed out, is getting the Elder Kai, because there's actually value with this specific setup of, with this Redstone now. So I've already used mine, and the option that I used was STR Super Gogeta, just because I'm anticipating that Super Easy A to be extremely hype, and a lot of people are going to want to have that character as far as they can go. And right now I think I have that unit at like 69% or something like that, but that's not that important. Let's go ahead and look at some of the options that the Redstone is going to provide for us. And the first one is this package of Super Saiyan 3 Goku with Super Saiyan Gotenks and AGL Ultimate Gohan. You can see that for one little stone that they gave out for free, you're going to be getting 3 characters, but no characters here that really jump off the page. I guess Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I don't believe that is a banner unit, so that is not going to be a Super Easy A, so make sure that you do keep that in mind. And then these guys as well are probably not going to get Super Easy A's either, because they're not Dokkan Fest or anything like that. So that is going to kind of factor into this one. I would say stay away from this pack, because there's not going to be too much movement in terms of who you're getting, right? This would just be kind of like filler for a team, but we could at least mention that you are getting 3 characters for free, essentially. So now we have another one right here where we have characters like Super Boo, we have Physical Deborah, and Majin Vegeta. Now, Deborah has like the slightest usage, because what this Deborah can do is he can provide like stacking for like a newer player or something like that. You might find usage with this guy, but I don't think he's worth buying. And then that Boo Easy A is a joke. Where Majin Vegeta kind of gets a little bit of usage is Majin Vegeta has an AoE that you can use that also has a chance to stun, so if you're somebody that needs help in World Tournament or something like that, I think that this Tech Majin Vegeta could have a little bit of value for you, but I would say that that's probably not the one that you want to purchase. Just keep that, again, so just keep that in mind that this guy has a little bit of utility, but again, not much to the point where it's worth maybe doing your hard-earned, I'll say in quotes, Dragonstone with that, but just keep that in mind. Now, if we want to talk about a Super Easy A that's going to be absolutely nuts, we look no further than Physical Vegito Blue. Now, Physical Vegito Blue's Easy A was absolutely insane when it came out. I mean, we're talking about a character that had, you know, this crazy attack numbers and doing all these additional attacks, countering on normals. This has a chance to be a Super Easy A that is absolutely busted. But with that being said, I think that it's a little bit too far away considering how late his Easy A came out compared to the ones that we're looking at. I mean, we're looking at like the first Easy A, an Easy A that just barely came out until recently with Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, who I don't even believe is on Global yet. So keep that in mind, that Physical Vegito Blue's Super Easy A is probably a long ways from now, and you don't really need to worry about that at the moment. Now looking at the next one, we have AGL Rose with 2 Elder Kais. AGL Rose is okay. Don't really see a ton of value with him right now, aside from just the fact that we know his Super Easy A is coming at one point. But again, not somebody that I would really be prioritizing, because extreme class units in this game just tend to get the short end of the stick. So again, not somebody that I would go for unless you're just like a huge Goku Black fan. Now, we can talk about these two at the same time. We have Super Saiyan 4 Goku as well as Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta from the Super Easy A. Or not from the Super Easy A, from the 2nd year anniversary. These are 2 characters that as well are going to get Super Easy A's at some point, but keep in mind that these characters Easy A'd after Physical Vegito Blue did, so, you know, if that's the benchmark, like you're Easy A'ing after Physical Vegito Blue, it's going to be a while before these characters are seeing their Super Easy A, unless they decide to go all in on like a GT Hero celebration and then they just like move these guys up on the schedule, right? Because despite them saying it was chronological, it didn't really work out that way, and now we, with Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, so just keep that in mind, that the Super Easy A could happen at any time, but again, don't expect it to be anytime soon, really, in my opinion. Now, moving on down the list, we have Tech Super Saiyan 3 Angel Goku. This is a character that I wouldn't really recommend either. Like, he can be okay. He does have an Easy A now, but Again, like the Super Saiyan 3 team, I feel like you're better off just hunting other Super Saiyan 3 units. I mean, you look at a character like the new Dokkan Fest that's about to come out momentarily here on the JP and global side of things with Golden Week. That is something that you have to keep in mind, but this guy's going to be just okay. Again, I don't think he's worth your redstone because the Super Easy A, again, is far away, and that's kind of the benchmark that we're going to be using going forward. You know, you guys have probably seen all of that as I've been doing this, but it's all about the Super Easy A with this redstone because things have kind of changed. It used to be like, whatever, just take the Kais, but now that we know characters can Easy A too, we have to keep that in mind. So we'll kind of speed run these ones a little bit now that we've kind of done a lot of talking, but Super Saiyan Gogeta, I would say no. Physical Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, no, just get the tech one because the Super Easy A. AGL Super 17 kind of works nice on like a GT Bosses team or something like that. Has a little bit of value with his defense, but when it comes to like 9th anniversary content, no, he's not really making his mark there. Super Saiyan 3 Broly is a joke. Unless his Super Easy A just like completely fixes the flaws that he had, which I don't see happening. I would highly recommend staying away from that character. The same would be said about Int Kid Buu. You never know, but like I think you're better off with just waiting for like an LR Kid Buu or something if you want like a really good Kid Buu, because I don't see that character getting his Super Easy A anytime soon either. The same could be said about STR Janemba. You will be seeing the Int one getting the Easy A first, or the Super Easy A first, so keep that in mind. Physical Cooler is also going to be a while as well. Int Trunks with Sword of Hope, I would say no. Tag Zamasu, again, no. AGL Super Vegito, I'd say this is one that you could consider. His defensive value is pretty immense in terms of like the damage reduction on normals, but again, is going to be in a little bit of trouble against the Super. But I did talk about the Super Easy A potentially being game-breaking in the video that I talked about recently, where this guy could potentially have a lot of stuff going on because under a certain HP threshold, he's going to have... what's it called? He does have a Scouter. I believe it's when HP is 40% or below, you can foresee enemy super attacks, so that's obviously going to have some super high value. Tech Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, if you guys have seen anything about his Super Easy A, he's pretty busted. This is a character that I would highly recommend that you pick up if you want to get a copy of him, because he's going to be super impressive. Especially after that Super Easy A. It's one of those things where it's like, if you want it now, you can have it, because the Super Easy A has already come out for this guy, so he is ready to go. Then kind of getting down towards the bottom of the list, we have Int Buhan, I would say no. STR Onega, again, no. We have Physical Broly, Legendary Super Saiyan, no thank you. AGL Blue Kaioken Goku, again, no. And then kind of just rounding out the list, Tech Golden Frieza, I would say Tech Golden Frieza is a decent option because he has pretty high damage reduction that's decently consistent, but the AGL counterpart is much better and you can pull that unit whenever. Then we have somebody like STR Cell, I say no. Physical Black Goku Black, no, excuse me. STR Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, I would say no. And then we have AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I would also say I highly recommend this choice because his Super Easy A is also very impressive. And then we have Pycon and last but not least, Bootanks. So, if we go down the list, who do I recommend? I tried to recommend them as I went, but we had Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I'd say is worth a scoop. I would say that Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, who we looked at earlier, is worth picking up. AGL Super Vegito will be worth picking up for like an investment. I think that's a good choice. Kind of going up the list again, you can kind of just see here, if you want to invest for a Super Easy A, like Physical Vegito Blue is kind of like an okay option now if you're more of a newer player, because he can still do damage and stuff like that. Not in terms of like any newer difficult content, but he could still do damage for like quest mode and stuff like that. I know that sounds funny, but there are a lot of viewers that are still doing the beginner stages on this channel, so I will at least mention that, but there we go. The Redstone, that's who I recommend that you guys pick up. Let me know down below what you guys are doing with it. Do you have all these units rainbowed and you're just picking up the Kai, or are you picking one of those characters up that I mentioned? So, like I said, let me know down below what you guys think. Leave a like if you did enjoy, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you all in the next one.